there's this guy in my class. He was not my friend. I'll preface this by saying this was not a friend. This was just a guy who was in my class. Let's call him Roger. And he was the most like nakedly evil man I've ever known. Like to the extent that you couldn't even get mad about it. Because like what makes people mad is hypocrisy. It's when someone like poses as a good person, but then when you see them, because hypocrisy insults your intelligence.
Right.
So people really hate.
He tried to trick me.
Yeah. It's like, oh, he's acting like he's a good person, but really I know he's shitty. So like hypocrisy gets people disproportionately mad. Whereas this guy was just like the devil.
Okay.
He was just like the embodiment of evil. He was like this emaciated, just like pale guy, and like he had this like huckster affect where it's like he's always trying to get something from you, like, hey man, cool, yeah, that's cool, you want to do blah blah blah. You know, it's just like he was just like the devil. So it's like, how can you get mad at the devil? It's like you see him walking, you know, across the dining hall, and it's like, oh, there's the devil. You know.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, like you can't really get mad at it. And he was like kind of like a predatory guy and just like constantly trying to swindle people out of things. I remember there was like a dark period where I would trade driving him to the gas station for like drugs or something. But anyway, he was also a heroin addict, and he was using freshman year. And this is an insane experience. So we had a screenwriting class, and it's like, you know, you write like a 15-page screenplay, you read it aloud to the class, and there's like group crit. And he's in the class, and me and my close friend seem to be the only person who picked up on this, but he's like clearly in the throes of withdrawals. Like his face looks like a fucking guppy. He's like eyes wide, just mouth and oval, sweating profusely.
Okay.
But everyone seems to be fucking oblivious.
Sure.
And so he starts reading his screenplay. And the screenplay is about a young heroin addict who's seeing a therapist. And it's like we read along, like you print out for everybody, we like read along as they're reading. And of course it's like, you know, full of like formatting errors and like bad grammar or whatever. So it's just this like hastily written, just like train wreck of a screenplay about a heroin addict who's seeing his therapist, and all this fucked up shit happens, obviously modeled on himself if you haven't caught up with me. But the screenplay ends with like he's in a session with the therapist, and he gets up and, you know, he's like, there's no hope for me, life is fucking bullshit and you can't help me, and he takes out a gun and he kills the therapist and then himself. So I'm not a therapist myself, but at the time it read as a red flag.
Sure, you know.
Did not seem like a positive sign.
No.
You know?
If you're gonna read the writing on the wall,
I mean,
you're gonna
look,
interpret those signs.
Look, it's fiction. It's a screenwriting class.
Oh yeah.
But you look at all the facts. It's not pointing towards something, I would wager, not positive. But here's the worst part is, so after he reads, everyone just does the same old dim-witted group crit that they always do.
Yeah.
So you have all these like fucking pretentious 18-year-olds who are like, yeah, I mean, like, you didn't even like format the script properly. And it's like,
thank you so much.
And it's like, yeah, Roger, like I really feel like, you know, like the dialogue isn't really like realistic. And he's like nodding along as they're saying this, just
yeah,
like,
for sure, guys. Thanks so much.
like at fucking death's door. And it was just like wild to me. It was like this person who is like just absolutely addicted to this deadly drug in the throes of withdrawals, reading his shitty screenplay to just like a room of indifferent dumbasses. You know, it was wild.
I am curious I guess this is like revealing my limits here, but like I don't know if I would be able to tell if someone was in heroin withdrawal.
I mean, I was 18. Like, it's not like I was an expert on drugs, but like it was
something was clearly wrong.
But it's like it was somehow it was known he was a heroin addict.
Oh, okay.
And he looked fucking sick as shit. You know, I mean,
if it's gonna be something, it was probably that.
Yeah, and I think people talked about it, and it's like, I don't know. He was like he was sweating sheets and he was hyperventilating. It's like,
Yeah.
you have half a brain, you put two and two together.
Right,
but,
okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a subtle thing.
No, not at all. Yeah.
God, fucking group critique.
But it was just so funny because like my class was like full of so many stupid people, so it was just so funny to see something like so real and just like pitch black and awful, but still being like fed through the same dumb machine, the same dumb rituals.
Let us take this at face value and just
like so
churn through it.
It was so poignant, Yeah, it was something.
Oh boy,
it's a treasured memory. But
is that guy still alive? Is he around?
He texted me. Well, see, guys like that, like he's gonna live forever. He's gonna outlive all of us. Like he's a fucking cockroach. He's always gonna live. He's one of those guys who like never picks up that you don't like him.
Okay.
So he I think he like texted me like 2 years ago, just out of the blue, because it's always some kind of hustle. It's like, hey Ralph, how you been? How you doing, buddy? And like he claimed to have a semi-successful catering business in upstate New York. How true that is, I don't know, but he claimed he was working for celebrities. I don't know, but I mean, he was a pathological liar, but also I wouldn't be surprised. In a way, he was a very enterprising young man, but what's fucked up about that guy? What's so tragic is that I remember I tweeted about this, but no one follows me, so I'll just use it on the podcast.
Okay, for God's sakes, everyone, please just go follow Ralph.
No.
It's please God help me, please.
No.
He's got a
PLS. God help me, PLS. But I remember once we were like in the dining hall, and he comes up to me and my good friend, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, turning over a new leaf." And I'm like, "Oh, cool, Roger, man, that's good to hear." Yeah. I'm totally straight edge except for vodka and cocaine. And it's like, of all the things, it's so hilarious, like two corrosive, colorless things. Like, even if you like to drink, it's so funny that it's like vodka, like the flavorless, just
utilitarian.
Clear, just like no character to vodka, but it's just like, I put vodka and cocaine into my system. Just the two corrosive, colorless agents. It's not even like, I love bourbon, so I'm drinking bourbon. Or it's like, I like to smoke weed, but no, it's
the distillation
vodka,
of the drugs of that category.
Yeah, no character, just give me the corrosion. It's like, I'm straight edge except for vodka and cocaine. Those are my limits. Draw the line there. Gotta turn over a new leaf, man. Look, people change. You gotta make changes to your life. You gotta evolve. Straight edge except for vodka and cocaine.
Only forward.
And the fucked up thing is that I remember there was like a weekend where he was sober. And this is what's so tragic. He was even more evil sober, because it was just like, because it's like the drugs were inhibiting him.
Oh dear.
It's like he was less powerful being beleaguered by drugs, but when he was sober, he was just like this efficient shark. And I remember just like, he had a mohawk at the time, and I remember him just like sizing up a crowd and just kind of like a snake, like just kind of like careening left and right. And it was just like, damn, the devil is operating at full capacity. So it's like, God, someone get this man some heroin just for everyone
Take
else's
the edge
sake.
off. Come on.
Just for everyone else's sake, give this monster some heroin.
God. Oh.